What's up guys? So today I will be showing you how to solve a cube blindfolded. One question everyone asks is, while solving blindfolded, do you have to keep the track of every piece? No. Do you have to be a genius? No. Okay, so how do you solve blindfolded? Well, we solve blindfolded one piece at a time. So let's give you an example. So I have to solve this piece right here. This piece goes right here, so I will just do an alg which will solve this piece. So how this works is uh, this piece right here is the buffer piece. Buffer piece is simply the piece which swaps and needs to go on its correct position. So if this is the buffer piece, the correct position of this is right here. So I will just do the swapping algorithm, which is just basically a t-perm, if you know from uh, the 3 by 3 normal. So you just do the t-perm, it solves these two pieces, So for like this case right here, the buffer needs go right here. So we will do a setup move. Setup moves are just moves to set the piece which the place where it has to go to be on the piece where the buffer swaps. So setup, swap and down. So there are some rules for setting up pieces. You are not allowed to move any layer except for the D, L, D, wide D and wide L. If you move the R or U or B or F layer, it will break this line right here. And if it breaks this line, the cube cannot be solved and the swapping algorithm won't work. So, and remember, always you have to set up the pieces to be at this spot. If you set them up on this spot, the setup the alg won't work. This is the buffer piece, and so let's give you an example another. Okay, in this case right here, why isn't focusing? Yeah, right here, this piece needs to go here. So this piece will swap with this piece. Now we will remember that if this piece, when we swap this piece, it will also swap this one. So then this piece would go here, and then so this will become the buffer piece, and then this piece, this one goes right here. So then we will do the setup moves for this and solve it. So swap for solving this one. Now this becomes the buffer, setup and undo. So you can figure out setup moves by yourself and intuitively without needing any guide, and I want you guys to do that because then it will be easier for you to remember them instead of learning. So we give every piece on the cube one letter to solve, one letter to name it, starting from green front and white on top. A, B, C, D for the edges, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and those are 20 pieces to memorize. Then what you do is the same exact thing. Yeah, so like again, this piece, this is the buffer piece, this is on position B. Yeah, A, B, this is B, and this white is on top, and white belongs right here, which is D. So this will be named BD. Now from BD, this piece is at D position, and this yellow needs to go right here. So we'll name it the B, whatever the letter is, BX. Yeah, BX. This will be named BX. So you do the swap for BD, and then you do the swap for DX. Okay, now about this case. While you have this is the B position, and this goes right here, BX. So we'll do the setup for this. Then this, wait. And this piece right here, wait, this piece swaps. This piece right here is the XB. So when we do the setup for this and then we go to the XB piece and swap, we end a cycle. What do you mean by ending a cycle? While you remember the pieces, like first A, this is, just suppose this is BD, then this is CA, then uh, this is BD, this is CA, this is wait, you get that, right? Then this is HJ, this is whatever you want to say. So while you learn all of them, suppose you are having a case like this. This is B, what is this? This is B and this is X. So I will name this BX. Then this piece would go here, which is the XB. So we started from the letter B and we ended on letter B again, because this P goes B, which means we have ended a cycle. While ending a cycle, you know that if you end a cycle, we will have to start a new one, which means the piece which goes right here has been solved. So let's give you an example and then we will solve. Okay, now to show you what you mean by ending a cycle, this piece goes right here. You solve this piece. Okay, sorry, not ending a cycle. That was just setup move, my bad. Okay, so this is the piece which is the buffer piece. This goes right here. So when you do this and you do the swap, you realize that as I do the swap, the buffer piece will be on its correct position, which means now the unsolved pieces can't be solved because the buffer piece is already correct. So then you start a new cycle. You just swap it, you just bring the swapping piece, an unsolved piece on the swapping piece, do the swap and continue a solve. Now I will solve this one. As I said, you are only allowed to do a specific number of moves for setting up D wide, L and wide in both the directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, so I have done all the edges as you can see, and now it's time for showing you the corner swap alg. When you solve the edges, the cube looks something like this. Now for the corner swap alg. So to put the corner swap alg easily, it's just doing a Y perm on a 3x3 cube, but without the first F move. So no F move, Y perm, and no F move at the end. What this does is swap these two pieces and these two. So this right here is the buffer piece and this right here is the swapping piece. So let's see what happens when I swap this piece with this. I get white on bottom and green on front and orange on side. White was right here, green was right here, and orange was right here. Let's do the swapping alg again. And as you can see, white was right here, green was right here, and orange was right here. So this piece goes to the bottom, this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here. So for corners as well, there are setup moves, but the only moves allowed are D, L, and F. You cannot do any other move, because if you do B, this will break. If you do L, this will break. And there's no purpose of doing M moves because we have already solved the edges and we don't need that. So for this case, this goes right here. So we will just do the F2 moves to bring this right here, and we have to bring white on this on the bottom. So we will just do the swapping alg as the white from here goes on to the bottom, and we will solve this. And we swap the pieces for this one, not this one. As you can see again, the piece on its the piece right here, the buffer piece is on its correct position again. So we do start a new cycle by swapping two pieces and then we continue. Alright, so let me show you some hard cases for edge and corner swaps. Okay, this is the hardest cases for edge. While you have these two pieces, adjacent pieces. What you would do is do this, then swap, and then inverse. Well, that's not the only way. You can do one more thing to make it even easier on yourself. You can convert this into the easiest case. You can just do a JPerm, and that will solve. JPerm has the same effect as TPerm. In TPerm, these two pieces swap and these two. In a JPerm, these two pieces swap and these two. So it doesn't change much for the corners and you will still continue it. So now the last thing I want to say is, while you solve blindfolded and you are solving the cube, while you will memorize the pieces, you will see that as you memorize the pieces, either the number of edges you solve is odd or it's even. Like for example, odd is I am solving A, C, D, H, I, J, N. As you can see, it's an odd number of swaps, so we have to do a parity. And if you have the edges an odd number of edge swap, then you will have an odd number of corner swap as well. You can't have an odd number of edge swap or an even number of corner swap, or vice versa. You cannot have a even number of odd number of corner swap and even number of edge swaps. They have to be same, or they can else be both be even. So like CHDEMN, they are even number because there are 6 swaps for edges. Yeah, I forgot to mention the corners naming scheme: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, continuing from the same pattern as the edges. So then as I was saying, for the parity algorithm, the parity algorithm is simply an RPerm. Well, this RPerm, and that would swap these two, and these two. Because if you do a parity alg, that then it won't be able to do it won't solve the cube, and you will have a RPerm remaining. Alright, before we end the video, I just want to say, while as you know a YPerm in the cube, it is based on the same idea. This piece needs to go right here. So why it is on top, the top piece while swapping goes right here. So we will move this down, do the swap, and move this up again. So YPerm, if you can't remember that alg, you can just remember as a YPerm but with no front and last F moves. That's going to be it for teaching you how to solve a cube blindfolded. I will make a example solve kind of video. Make sure to look out for that, and if you want to, you can subscribe, leave a like. But until then, bye bye and peace out.